Hi everyone, it's Misty here from TheJollyFatElf. Happy Monday. Welcome back to another card in my 2024 holiday card series. I am finally playing with the Christmas Eve stamp from Hello Bluebird. If you know me, I wanted this stamp set for like 6 or 8 months and I finally got it. And the very first idea I had when I immediately saw it was I wanted to do something kind of sepia toned but more pink. Kind of like this really pretty pinky pastel vintage Christmas card. And so that's what I tried to accomplish and I failed pretty miserably. You can see there I'm kind of testing some colors and adding pink on top, and that's exactly what I do. I use a couple of browns and then I go over it with R20. Now, I color Santa and a reindeer in the original video. I cut out the reindeer because I'm not going to use him and I hate the way he was colored. So we'll talk about that at a different date. But this is basically no line coloring. I used a lighter brown ink for him because I wanted this to look old and vintage. And I didn't want harsh black lines when I was doing something a bit more pastel. And again, I was really going for that kind of browny, pinky brown color. I don't know if you've it's really like sometimes you'll see an eyeshadow go on and it's brown and it'll go on and it'll look really pretty and pink and blown out. And that's kind of the look I was going for. I think I did okay with Santa. It was the deer where I messed up. But where I really messed up with this was the actual card. So we're going to speed through that. And then in Wednesday's video, I'm going to share with you how I fix it for me. So that's what you can expect. So I am coloring Santa like I normally would. I always start with darkest to lightest. I am going in with my browns and then going over it with the pink while it's still wet. Some people call this glazing. You can call it whatever you want to. But again, I wanted that. And there are some browns, like E11 is kind of pinky. E13 I think is kind of pinky. But I wanted something a little bit different. Like I had a specific thought in my head and I tried to make that come to light and I got halfway there. So yeah, so for his pants, I also colored those the same color. And then on his hat, his beard, his hair, I did a light brown and again went over it with a very light pink. You can see the colors that I am using listed over to the right-hand side. If you just pause it, take a screenshot, make it bigger so you can see it. I add to the colors as we go. So you can notice on these deer that there are a couple of spots where the ink got heavy. I don't know what it was about this stamp set, but I had to stamp it like 10 times before I could get a good crisp line. And I've never had a problem like that before. So I don't know if it was something to do with the way I was stamping it. I don't know if it was the ink. I don't know what it was, but it took forever. And I ended up with spots that had too much ink and other spots that don't have enough ink. It wasn't the ink because I tried 2 different ones. And it was not the sandwich, oh my word. It wasn't the stamp set. Oh my word, my brain. So for his mittens, I used the same color as I did on his boots. And again, I went down with the color and then went over it with pink and then went back over it with pink. So for the white part of his outfit, I'm using R000 and then, or R000 and then dotting in the other 2 colors that I used. I really love this technique, especially when you want something to look fluffy. I think it works out perfectly for that. And I really, really do love I love Santa. Santa turned out fantastic. The deer, not so much. But Santa, I love him and I love the finished card. I can't wait for you guys to see it. But I want to walk you through everything in real time. I actually filmed that earlier and that's in real time. So Wednesday's video will be in real time. You'll hear my real thoughts in the moment and I'll walk you through how I quote unquote fix it. Because again, you guys might like the finished card. I did not. But I am super happy with the card that I got done today. So hopefully this goes up in time. I'm doing this voiceover at like 5 o'clock in the evening. We had a contractor come over today to give us a quote for our guest bath. I thought they were going to be able to get to work right away. We have a new vanity like we bought 1.5 years ago. We've got the lights, the sinks, and then we want board and batten trim, Like, that's it. And $6,000. I was just like, I'm sorry, what? $6,000 for basically cosmetics? No, thank you. So I spent the rest of the day trying to find other contractors. And then I was like, Misty, it's Monday. You got to post a video. So I was like, and I had already filmed it. I filmed all this weekend. I just hadn't had a chance to sit down and edit it because we were like yesterday. We spent like half the day at Home Depot trying to find paint, trying to find lights, etc. So that is a bummer. But yeah, we're definitely not going with them. I'm like, I'm not paying. If I had the ability, I would do the board and batten myself. I've seen so many tutorials online about it. You can buy kits off Etsy and kits off Home Depot and stuff. I'm like, if I were able-bodied, I would do it on my own, but I am not. So yeah. So for his belt buckle, I used a gel pen. And then I went over everything with this brown colored pencil that I just happened to have on my desk. I need to sharpen it. It was not a sharp tip, so some of my lines are thicker than the other. But this does give me, the idea that I can accomplish no line coloring, so to speak. And I really, really like how it turned out. Initially, I was going to use watercolor pens, but that was a hot mess express. I don't have enough colors, and I definitely don't have enough way to make lighter colors to color his skin or to color one of the reindeer. So yes, I'm just going over all of the lines with the brown pencil. And I don't remember which one this is. Again, this is one that got accidentally left. So yeah. And I'm using 2 different gold glitter pens. I'm going over it with this kind of more bright gold. And then I'm going over that with kind of this more antique-y gold. So it's not so bright and in your face. And again, I love it. And I didn't do a glow. I know some people would have done a really big glow on him. Again, not the aesthetic that I was going for. I was going more for just the cutesy aspect of it. So yeah, you guys will have to let me know what you think. I love him. I think he turned out so cute. He's so cute. He's such a cute Santa. Okay, so I got on Creative Fabrica and I found some sheet music and I printed it out 2 to a page. And I'm going over it with some Distress Oxide. So this is Tattered Rose or Milled Lavender. I don't remember. And then this is Brushed Corduroy. And I am going to make a vintage looking old sheet music. And that's basically what I wanted. In this video, I'm using oxides. Spoiler alert, on Wednesday, I'm going to remake this and I'm using Distress inks. You're like, Misty, what's the difference? So if you don't honestly know the difference, so Distress inks are basically a water-based ink. So they are a dye ink, and they're made to react with water. Distress oxides are basically a hybrid ink. So they're part pigment and part water-based. They're opaque. So you can layer on top of each other, but it's not going to be like a really pretty gradient for them, like necessarily. You have to kind of work for that. It is very, very, very opaque. So that's kind of the difference between the two. And then I wrinkled it up, wet it, wrinkled it up, went over the wrinkles with this Stamp Anything Pecan pad. And then I went back in and added more to it to make it look really distressed. Now, I think part of the issue I had is this is not my style. We're on day 9? If you've watched me for any amount of time, this is not my usual style. I am not a vintage person. I really wish I was. I remember used to seeing like Prima design team members and all these flowers and florals and bits and bobs. I'm like, oh, that's so pretty. But it's just not me. I lean more towards whimsical and cute. So while the Santa is whimsical and cute, the rest of it isn't. And I think that's part of why I struggled. So I wanted a bit more kind of peachy red gold instead of the pink. So this was some Nuvo spray that ended up not being the color that I wanted, but it added some sparkle and shine. And I really liked that about it. So here's Santa, and then I'm going to bring in the reindeer, and then we're going to figure out what we're going to do. Now, I knew that I wanted to die cut this out. This is the Stamp Anything A2 card layer things. I don't know that they make these dies anymore, but I love it, this set, because this one right here is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And most stitched rectangle sets start with 4 by 5 1/4. So if you guys know of another set that does a full card front, leave it in the comments for others, because like I said, I don't know that Stamp Anything makes this one anymore. So I didn't explain it, but if you haven't heard of it, Creative Fabrica is a website built for crafters. Whether you make t-shirts, tumblers, whether you're just a paper crafter like me, and when you get a membership, it's $47 a year, and you get commercial license with everything. Fonts, SVG files, clip art, digital stamps, digital paper, wraps for tumblers and stuff like that. I mean, it's just a wealth of, like, it's the best $47 I've ever spent. I'm about to start my 3rd year subscription when I renew in December. I have saved thousands of dollars. And one thing is that some people who are on Etsy are also on Creative Fabrica, and they charge, $4 or $5 for an image on Etsy, and you can get them basically for free on Creative Fabrica. So I have a referral link down below. I make about $2 if you sign up under it, and if you do, I really appreciate it. So here's the look at the final card. I stamped Jingle All the Way because I didn't want to add any gems at the top. I don't know. There's just something about this card that I just don't like it. And I think it's probably the glitter that has taken up more. Like, I didn't want that to be the focus. Santa was supposed to be the focus. So please come back on Wednesday where I show you how I fix this card in real time, and you can let me know which one is your favorite. So that's it. Thank you so much for joining me today, friends. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, I hope you'll consider subscribing. I'm trying to upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 p.m. Central. I will see you Wednesday for part 2 of this card. Thanks so much. Bye for now.